Oh, hello. Like they said, my name is Alejandra Gama, and I was wondering if any of you know what your first word is. Could it be mom, dad, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? I bet it was that one. Well, I remember once in the 6th grade talking to a friend about what our first words were. Her first word was up, and because of it, she wanted her last word to be down. After that day, I often thought about what my last words were going to be. Well, since my first word was a mispronounced version of my older brother's name, it couldn't really be the opposite because, well, there wasn't one. Even though I didn't know what my last words would be, I hoped that they would be something very inspirational and moving. Something like, give me liberty or give me death. Because I'm a big fan of, I'm really into filmmaking, obviously. However, I hate 3D, so it's give me 2D or give me death, I guess. That would be my motto. However, I really wanted, like I said, I wanted it to be something very moving and inspirational. Well, one day I heard a phrase that made me look at that very differently. Last words are for fools who have not said enough. Now, hearing this just made me think, why are last words so important? It made me see the insignificance of those words I would say at my death when compared to what I've said throughout my life. I no longer cared if I inspired on my deathbed if my life spoke nothing of that. Now, I believe we all have something to say. Obviously, here at TEDmond, we have more than 20 speakers, and each and every one of us has something to say. And each and every one of you have something to say here today. So we all, like I've said, we all have something to say. And we all have different ways to say it. That's what's beautiful about humanity. I say it through filmmaking. You may say it through painting, through singing, any way you can say it. Unfortunately, we are not always heard despite the facts that there are so many ways to say the things we have to say. My oldest sister once told me, a picture may be worth 1,000 words, but an action is worth 2,000. So now when I have something to say, I act on it. Which is why last February I entered a project Voicescape, and I entered a proposal that focused on the lives of children of undocumented immigrants. How many of you here know what the 14th Amendment is? Okay, I'm glad to see some hands up. The 14th Amendment basically states what is a citizen. If you are born in the United States, you are a citizen no matter what, and you are entitled to all the benefits of it. Well, Arizona legislator decided, a few senators and representatives decided that it wasn't fair that children whose parents are here illegally do not receive those benefits. However, reading about this and just staring at the screen, reading this article, made me feel horrible made me feel this was something so horrible because I thought those kids don't get their say because they're not 18, they're not of age to vote for it. They're too young. My documentary, which focuses on this, is called Right to be an American. And the family in it has 2 little girls of age 2 and 1. Now these little girls, right there, how can they speak for themselves in this occasion? How can they say it's not fair? If their citizenship is taken away, they won't be able to go into higher education. They won't be able to vote. They won't be able to be heard. How horrible is that? I remember having a nightmare one time that I was just laying in my bed and I couldn't move and my mouth was opened, and I couldn't close my mouth. And there was this nasty, ugly black beetle just crawling slowly on my body, very, very slowly towards my mouth. And it was about to go into my mouth and I couldn't close my mouth. I couldn't scream, and I wanted to scream my mother's name for her to help me and to take the beetle off of me so it wouldn't go in my mouth, but I couldn't speak. Now, that is just a horrible thing, to not be able to say your side, to not be able to be heard, which is why I made this documentary, because I wanted those girls to be heard. I wanted their sides to be told, because if we don't look at every side and we don't hear every voice, that is when injustices come into play. That's when ignorance ignorance becomes a big thing in the issue. So now that you all know that you have a voice, I hope you use it, and I hope you use that voice to help others be heard. Because when we don't listen, and when we don't help others to be listened, we become deaf. And being deaf is horrible because what we hear makes up to what we say, and what we say is who we are as people. So, thank you. Forgot this.